ends of the earth!
Need to dust the top of my monitor. That is... Ooh. How we doing, everyone? CLU, hope you're having a wonderful day thus far. Hey Leah, hey Acework, hey Kara, hey Gideon Staff, hey Deli, hey Irish, hey Zach, Superman, hey Atrix, hey Denied, anyone else who might be lurking. My hands don't work yet today. One of the many perks of having RA is sometimes limbs and joints don't quite respond properly. Hang on, I just spilled coffee on my mouse, but it was only a little bit. I just gotta clean that up. Should be fun. Okay, howdy, hello. Let's meet Act 2. That's my start streaming alarm. Look at me, all punctual. Enable all the correct mods. Okay. These are pretty simple mods, so load order shouldn't matter. Right on time? Yeah. 83%, which gives me a little bit of anxiety. We're good. So, we're here in the Mind Flayer colony. We are level 11, 9 Ranger, 2 Sorcerer.
Onward in her name.
Be adding in a Hexblade level for 12. Hey, Sir Axelicious. And we're doing funny lightning arrow things. Which is going to require some sorcerer points. So I don't really have to take more fights in the colony right now, but for damage showcase purposes, I can. Guess let's do that. Do one cycle here, I think. We just off with Danny yesterday. We made it into Rivington. Did 2 fights added by extra encounters. That ended up being very stressful because we got a boss spawn during one of them, first fight in the act. Not one of the Absolute Wrath bosses, but a boss from Skeletal Challenge. So that was pretty rough, but we made it through. But yeah, we're running around in Rivington. Probably gonna respec to play to the sword that we got from the Absolute Wrath boss, because I just love messing around with that. And on Tempest Cleric, it's cool because I can just electrocute myself for some benefit. Just like in real life. Hey, Dade. Hey, Sora. Evan, can you stop spilling the water I just poured everywhere? This is why it runs out so fast. That's half of it on the fucking floor. Cat.
I believe there's a cabin near you.
Oh, and there's the other half of it. Like, what have you been doing?
Descend, assemble.
Oh, now you're trying to drink it. like right before I sat down, I filled the water bowl. Like right before I unmuted my mic. It's now empty because he just spilled all of it. So if a cat starts howling at me for, hey, I need water, you were here. Any thoughts on duelist thing I pitched in BG3? So doing bound weapon with that is interesting. Problem is, it kind of takes away from the attempt to find battle master value. So I guess doing elemental cleaver there, but then that becomes really action intensive because you have to be raging. And at that point, the fights where you would have that available for are the ones where you would want something like many more monk levels to make the punches actually magical damage. And you wouldn't be able to do that with Divine Strike. So you would have to like give up glove slot for Bone Spike garb or Bone Spike gloves or something, which is a shame. The thing I really found in school is using Greater Kushiko counter and using Halo Spores. School not super practical. You can do it on Greater Kushiko counter at least, because that one specifically says it's unarmed. You can do that one with a weapon equipped. That's probably the easiest way of going about using it then. Yeah. Oh no, you can't. Just reaction refreshing. Yeah. So like that's the opposite order to which Helmet of Grit works, if my recollection is accurate. Where with Grit it'll use up the non-Grit bonus action first. It prioritizes use of that. You can tell with how wild shapes work there. But with extra reaction from Duelist Prerogative, it seems to do the opposite, which is more favorable for the player. And that's cool. We'll probably find a way to mess around with that. But, yeah. Haven't found anything other than Sentinel and Riposte. Have you tried Mage Slayer by any chance? Wanted to rob Leroy against projection blind. Can I kidnap him anywhere isolated? The more things I should be aware of. Yeah, you can kidnap him anywhere. Hope you haven't tried it. I like Mage Slayer. I've been trying to find more use cases. I like it for wild shape builds. I like it for fighting Dwergar and Grimforge. I'd like to find more cases for it. Forgot about Mage Slayer. Was distracted a lot by dinosaur shapes. This is actually silly how strong it is. Yeah, dino shape's quite good. Larian decided it should have 2 action refreshes for some reason. Even Myrmidons each have 1, right? I think the Badger has 1 too. There's like a fair amount of wild shape stuff that does have action refreshes. Should be fine for now. So I could go get Resonance Stone for Conjure Barrage stuff first. We've got a few toys to mess around with. We've got Hail of Thorns, Ensnaring Strike, Lightning Arrow, and Conjure Barrage, all nicely in a column here, which does make me happy. Yeah, Explosive Icicle. Yeah.
Calm and quiet, that's the way.
They didn't know about Perura. Illuminated, so Spirit of Evening won't be of use.
Descend, faithful. We depart.
Nice. I'm gonna save for my Costco trip. Just pray for me. I hope it goes well. That's the mage these hoes ain't know about Perura. It's true. They gonna learn today. Explosive Icicle, where do you guess that? Prime Explosive Icicle is a Water Myrmidon ability. Hazel, Hazel. Hope you're well. So, don't underestimate greater zombies, by the way. They are legitimately one of the most threatening enemy types in the game. They're kind of deceptive because they're zombies, right? How much could they do? And they don't have great movement.
Strange.
They don't have ranged abilities. But if you let a greater zombie hit you, it hurts.
This doesn't bode well for her.
That's the wrinkle. They do fuck you damage. And it is bludgeoning and necrotic. So for some classes, acquiring bludgeoning resistance can be difficult.
The moment comes. The absolute.
And depending on the part of the game you're at, necrotic resistance might not be on the table.
The console. It is income.
Unlocked. I hope that was worth the effort.
Throwback to you getting crit through your owlbear form? Yes, ma'am. First time messing about with Resonant Stone. Is there any fight I should be really careful bringing to an Act 3? So, very start of the act in Rivington, the fight with Zenobia and the other guild members. One of them is a bard that uses Dissonant Whispers. So, if you have Resonant Stone on you and that bard gets a turn, that could be very painful for you. Also, bringing it to fight Bay Knights, not necessarily the best idea. They have Psychic Damage Smites, they have Phantasmal Killer. Bring it to fight any Mind Flayers could also be a bad idea, because Mind Blast, even if you're immune from immune to the stun from Helm of Balduran, the damage from Mind Blast can still affect you, if you happen to be near someone else they're targeting with it. Probably don't want to bring it to fight the Gith in the Elfsong Tavern. I usually don't bring it to fight the spectators in the House of Hope, but I'll leave it, if I care, I'll leave it in a chest upstairs. But sometimes if I'm lazy, I'll bring it with me anyway. If I ever die to that, that's my fault.
Pretty enough. I guess you're no will. What I use your tadpole. It touched my mind.
It fades, but
It is only and I.
Should have bought Caustic Pant. Forgot about it. Well, that's fine. Can be dicey against Serapok too. Sendai casts slow in command. Hey Zapper. Actual representation of my brain.
Smells like blood and tears. This place saw a lot of suffering.
Smells like tears, Shadowheart? Are you okay? The specific thing to say. was hit for 50 psychic damage. That was a low roll.
Of many hearts, one soul.
Nice.
At last. No more chop. Chop.
But I guess, yes, Conjure Barrage is a spell that has specifically been referred to as bad, by the way. It matches your weapon type, just like make better choices about your weapon type. Once again, anyone who tells you Ranger is bad just straight up has not played it.
Let's see what I can spirit away.
Prepare.
Your time has come.
Psychic damage Colossus Slayer is cool, I guess.
Let's try this way.
I could try for something I have no business going for.
Whatever comes.
Did I not pick up Char's Temptation? I did.
Descend, assemble, prepare, obey. Evacuate.
Hello.
General Thorm was attacked. The order to evacuate given. You should not be here. I conclude you are one of the attackers.
That's crazy.
I have
You sound
long
crazy.
gone.
Let's see what I can glean.
Gather yourselves. You are on sanctified ground. Speak
Speak your
only
blessing.
if you must. It is not my blessing. I am merely a vessel for our Lord Merkel's will. His shadow falls across you. Go forth and reap.
As a blessing goes, that's just fucking cool. Like, that goes hard. Now we got the condition Merkel's Gift. So while we have these 10 temp HP, I have resistance to cold. I already have resistance to necrotic. And I do some extra necrotic damage on my weapon attacks. Wish we could enjoy it longer? Yeah. I guess it's theoretically possible if you do early colony, like Brain Cat Jump, you could get Merkel's Gift while you're in here.
Mind flayers and civilians, side by side. This must be where they infect and transform those they kidnap.
Oh yeah, Intellect Devourers have blind sight, so they don't actually mind being in darkness. No, they don't mind walking through it. I stand corrected. You go there. Natural 200 plus damage. Yeah. That one got hit for 70 psychic. Pretty good. Technically, if I went with a 9-3 Ranger Sorcerer split, I could learn Shadow Blade and then use an elixir, upcast it to 4th level, get a little bit more psychic damage that way. That would be stronger for Conjure Barrage, but weaker for the other spells because I'd miss out on Hexblade's Curse. With a Conjure Barrage focus build, I don't think you'd even do Sorcerer. Maybe you would do it for Spell Slot Sustain, but like, you can't twin it. So yeah, maybe for spell slots, maybe for Quicken. But neither of my meta magic effects apply to it right now. Oh, and that was also without damage rings. Because I forget things sometimes, I'm just a silly little guy. The Druid I'd go.
Brine
What,
pools,
spores, you think?
but empty of tadpoles.
Hey, Wheelie Boy.
Unusual. A parasite brimming with magic. Take
Yeah,
it.
makes sense to me.
Cambion.
There's no attack roll to Conjure Barrage? Correct. But it uses weapon damage die? Correct.
Now,
Your eyes, the controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
good work. I'd give you a but
My faith will guide me. On I go.
doors open to your tadpole?
Got to keep fighting. Got to concentrate.
Like that.
Bleed for me. Heading there.
What happens to use Conjure Barrage the Rat Bat? Do you get a piercing DRS and AoE? I don't think so. I've never done that. No? Okay. Us is putting in appropriate work. That's Ensnaring Strike. Follow up with Conjure Barrage. Finish with Booming Blade.
I didn't think I was going to make the others, the ambush. By the time I regained, if there are any more survivors to be found, and
It's pretty good. Yeah, they succeeded the save on Conjure Barrage there,
I'll never be rid of it.
but the vulnerability
To pay for this.
cancels
I
that
make
out.
it out here alive.
Discern, faithful. We depart.
Have to keep pushing. Can't afford to stay idle. This way.
Okay. So what's my Merkle plan? A bunch of Peru, eh? Isabel will be there. I don't need to bring Scratch because Aylin's dead.
Prepare, obey.
We'll bring Shovel.
A whole fleet of nautiloids. Enough for an army of true souls.
Wondering if I Sparkle Hands, because I like throwing the Mind Flare during the surprise round. Winter's Clutches if I had done Draconic Cold. Makes sense. If he has Cold Resist, overcoming that would be a whole thing. I could Morning Frost. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to reset my sorcery points here. So we're going to be making him wet, so fire would not be the play. Stick with DJ gloves. Despite the horrible dye situation. Here, we'll wear this. Swap that to main hand. Putting that there makes sense.
Unseen as I was taught. Gently does it. Off I go. Got to press on.
Evacuate.
I returned to full lyric mode, head out to hang out with the in-laws. Fun telling the old man jumped in the hole playing with his bony friend. Sounds good, Kara. You have a good time. Let's use my current sorcery points. Just make a bunch of third level spells left. Hey, Danny.
Prepare. Obey.
I think 5 is probably enough. I didn't leave targets to get saturation on, did I? Might have to go back and kill those Merkelites. I'm gonna have to go back and kill them. It's fine. Let's do that now. Did a lot of office shopping today. Needed new things. Now I have a new office chair, stainless steel pot and pan, new pants, groceries. Let's go. That is grade A adulting. No notes. They're not grouped up anymore.
Keep low and quiet.
ate into more of my temp HP than I like, but cool. Oh wait, they aren't hostile. I didn't get remittance. Damn it. Specific thing I came here for.
No time to waste.
Well, it was still fucking cool. Go for lightning blast.
Descend. Prepare. Descend. Prepare.
Find a sausage. I don't have the level back yet. At level 12.
Descend. Assemble.
How many sorcery points am I gonna need here? I don't really need my second level slots for anything. Keep a bunch of first level for ensnaring strike and shield. And basic hail of thorns.
Descend. Evacuate.
Extended spell Mage Hand might also be happening. We'll see. I'll do one more cycle because that'll get me Shield of Thralls back for me to put it on us. Maybe I do one further one so I have it back for me too. But that one definitely wouldn't be necessary. So we'll just do an actual short rest for that.
Descend.
Probably fine.
Descend. Prepare.
So why is it that Bernard has a command that makes him hostile? Oh, bit of trolling. I don't think Stormy Clamor helps me at all, really. I'll do Boots of Speed, even though they won't help me after the first turn. So... That's my plan here. Blight on the Mind Flayer, which will give me lightning charges, which then I can lightning blast. Then do I just open with a twin lightning arrow on Merkle? I think I could manage that. Won't be particularly strong, but it'll be a nice tone setter.
I'll go this way.
Be a prudent introduction? Yeah. Sometimes it's not about doing the most damage, it's about sending a message. I agree.
This way.
Spear of Evening wins over Shadowblade here because I will likely shoot darkness arrows at Merkle or concentrate on darkness on him. And that would imply that I should go here as well. Elemental Infusion is unlikely to actually happen because of the DR. If I make him wet, it would happen. Do that.
Unseen. Perfect.
No longer. We've found it.
You wag.
Now.
And Ketherick.
Concentrating on anything currently.
Any mistakes. Calm and quiet, that's the way.
Yeah, this all seems right. Do I have Ice Storm? That would actually be better here. I know this seems like a waste, I got more
Perhaps
lightning
you
charges.
hope to learn your place in history before. I will kill you now, and then I will raise you as my
Nice one.
servant. Perhaps. No.
God damn,
There
put that
is
away.
no repentance.
I'm trying to look at Ketherick's chart. Damn.
My debt can never be repaid. He is here. He is watching. He is listening. He is.
And people say this doesn't look like Shadowheart. Looked like it from that angle. Never stops being cool, never.
But it is no matter, for I am death.
And the character design of the Apostle Merkel is so fucking cool too. I just love this part of the game so much. Okay. So a quick little range check here. Oh, it says he's in range. Okay. Forgot to make the Mage hand. That's okay, I think. I'm tempted to switch to Bloodlust here. Okay, then I'm cucumbered. Hey Mick, thanks for the raid. How was stream? I was lurking for a couple minutes before I got started today. Any tips for how melee characters deal with the Merkel fight? Put out a shit ton of damage, wrap at, worry about this fight coming up. So either you do enough damage that the fight mechanics don't get to happen, or you do enough ad control so that you can do your damage, or you just outlast him to where the fight mechanics stop happening. He can only heal about 6 to 8 times before he stops spawning necromites at all. You can use heavy chests to block these 3 pathways up, So if you're staying in melee range, so he's always doing the side swing and never doing Call of the Damned, and these 3 pathways are blocked, then the Necromites can never get there to heal. They have no method. They can't get pulled in by him, they can't get there themselves, so they'll just attack you. And if you're tanky, that doesn't matter. Kill the Mind Flayer first, as per usual. Yeah, it's very straightforward. Stream is bleh, Thunder Thighs the 4th is a bust. Aw, sorry to hear, Mick. Alright. Got the stun, even. We got the slots. May as well, right? Wish I could get this Doom Hammer out of my inventory. There we go. Of the Warlock subclasses, which would you say offers the most impactful features? Hexblade. I wouldn't say by a long shot, but Hexblade, and then followed by a Hexblade, you have what I would consider to be a dead eye between Fiend and Great Old One. Yeah. It's definitely not Archfey. Alright, that one's still alive, but I can Bloodlust off of it at a later date. Decent turn one. Yeah, Western Libra. Tried to have fun Goomba stomping fist in Joaquin's Rest, but alas, oh no. Early game I put Goo second, late game Fiend put it slightly above Goo. I would agree that Fiend, the more levels you take, the more stuff Fiend gets, whereas Goo has front-loaded value, but then it also has late value. Thought Shield is very good, if specific in which enemies you have to use it on. In terms of, if I were to restrict myself to a 1-level dip, well then yeah, it's between Hexblade and Goo. But as soon as you get to level 3, Fiend is right there with them, because level 3 Fiend gets Scorching Ray. What's the play here? Extended freezing sphere could be funny. Lightning Blast. Pact of the Blade synergize well with Hexblade, their redundancies? Yes, it does. If you're swinging your weapon, Pact of the Blade is the one you take. If the two different weapon bindings overlap, you only have extra attack with a Pact weapon if you took Pact of the Blade, even if you're a Hexblade.
What should I do?
Okay. Each of those 10s, that was from Lightning Blast. I gotta make sure they've heard about Perura, you know?
One life to my life. Sustain me, slaves.
That's pretty good. With Hexblade's Curse, that would have been an additional 8 damage on every instance of damage there. Marco Heshkir would be an additional 4. Sorry, an additional 8 on top of that on everything. Rhapsody, we can get that way higher in Act 3 with Act 3 gear. Extended Bloodlust going. Out of time on that. Any more? Can we make one? Yeah. Didn't mean a lightning burst that, but it's alright. Time for lightning charges. not bad. Would have hit harder if I still had Merkel's Gift, but it's fine. Opportunity Lightning Blast once per long rest. It's no longer wet. I could give up Peg here. Hey, Adria, thank you for the 5 months. Good to see you. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, or at least okay. Let's shoot for realistic in the hellscape that is 2025.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. Hey, you look like...
I could put on Shadow Blade and start clicking Conjure Barrage on him. Do Conjure Barrage Force. That could be fun. Yeah, let's just use up our Undead Slaying Arrows. We have them, right? Probably stand in a position where he can make a side swing, so he perhaps doesn't get a heal, but I could also just kill him. Let's just kill him. 14 to 50. Slaying still does more. One for the arrow of slaying there in case I missed, because then I could still offhand swing with Spell Sparkler.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its
So keep in mind,
master.
with lightning arrow there, on that lightning blast, that was still around a third of the expected damage once we have all the gear necessary.
Nothing
So the one that chunked him for like
I
100
have
something,
forsaken.
tripled out.
You,
And that's without it critting.
you have no idea.
Any particular race features a combo really nicely with Hex Pack Blade? I mean, you think about that one for a minute, Machete. You tell me. And I didn't crit, and I didn't crit.
I could sleep for a
And now the picture comes together. If the crown can do this to the parasite,
Game here, gotta go back. No way, missing Merkle fight. Hey, Manfred.
to the brain. A temporary
Hey,
reprieve,
Athena.
but a welcome one. Ketheric was a I dare not.
I guess I probably will end up doing Reaper's Embrace. It's only one more AC. No, it won't. No, I won't. Did I turn Isabel to fucking paste? Looks like it. Ranger Sorcerer seems fun, so Quicken, Twin, and Snaring Strikes. Yeah, Quicken, Twin, and Snaring Strikes also. Well, not Quicken specifically, because that would just make the action 2 bonus actions. But you could do something like Quicken Booming Blade, if you wanted to go one more Sorcerer level than I plan on doing. Twin and Snaring Strike, Twin Hail of Thorns, Twin Lightning Arrow. I don't have any meta magic that goes on Conjure Barrage currently, but if you did take that 3rd Sorcerer level, you could do Quicken Conjure Barrage. It's very, very fun. Oh, there's Isabel's body.
No time to waste.
I've been thinking on all that we learned below. If you've caught your breath.
Looked away, Merkel was dead. Swear to God. Hey, Chris. Sorry about that.
I'd better do the talking.
I will never tire of sitting on dead men's thrones. Power always has. But I shall not get too comfortable.
Didn't expect Conjure Barrage to hit that hard. It uses your weapon die. So if you remember the Arcane Archer run I did, Piercing Arrow is Conjure Barrage, but extra attack compatible. And you saw how hard I was creaming my jeans over Piercing Shot. Now imagine it trading the being usable with extra attack thing for it counting as a spell. It opens up a whole separate set of applications. Wasn't there for that run? Gotcha.
Indeed, she is the one. And for that, I will find her. In killing Catherine, we have a... You chose to incapacitate, so... Why come to Moonrise? I, for one, will miss a mistake. When you...
Oh, it reminds me of old times, aren't you? These chosen... When we reach Baldur's Gate, there's beyond...
Better make camp soon. Might be a while before there's another chance to rest.
Jeans, I thought you were just a disembodied head and arms, immersion ruined.
We leave the hut. You, there are many more battles ahead. You
Don't need any more.
we are to succeed
Nothing.
together.
Okay, bye.
Road to Baldur's Gate awaits us, west of town. Let's try to outpace the Absolute's armies.
That's the thing, never done honor mode run, not quite sure what to prioritize. Extra movement suit from Wood Elf seems nice. Extra cantrip from High Elf, also tempting for utility. Wiki says Hexblade already gives proficiency with medium armor and shields. That's not something I would look for otherwise. Okay, so you're going through the right thought processes here. And this is good. This is why I asked the question the way I did. Because it's going to depend on what your chosen approach is. Movement speed. Gene screaming how Babby is formed. I mean, yes. Movement speed is always good. It's very nice. If there's a particular cantrip that you want to pick up that you find yourself unlikely to get from Hexblade, you could try to grab that from High Elf. If you want a cheat death and extra melee crit die, well then Half Orc is an option. If you want Thaumaturgy for dialogue stuff and one use of Searing Smite, one use of Branding Smite, you could go Zariel Tiefling. If you want Dwergar Invis, you could go that way. If you want Gold Dwarf HP, you could go that way.
The road to Baldur's Gate awaits us west of
There's
town.
no correct answer. There's incorrect answers, like Halfling. But there's no correct answer.
Lady Shah's embrace has been lifted.
The Halfling Shade? If Halfling didn't want to catch Shade, it should be better.
Stop that traitor, Thorn.
That's all I have to say about that.
All these tracks. Enough for an army. They must be on the march.
Whatever anyone says, if there's a particular cantrip, my mind goes to Minor Illusion. Yeah, Crypto, that's a great example. Minor Illusion, Blade Ward, and post-patch 8, Booming Blade. I'd say those are the big three of what people go High Elf or should be considering High Elf to pick up. For Shadowheart, I picked Minor Illusion, because that allows me to always have it, even when I didn't have these Sorcerer levels. And it means I don't have to take it from Sorcerer, and I don't have to take it from Warlock. Instead, from Sorcerer, I'm taking Blade Ward, Booming Blade, and Bone Chill. And from Warlock later, oh, and I'm also taking Mage Hand. From Warlock later, I'll probably pick up utility stuff. Blade Ward literally saved my solo run the other day. It's so good. Blade Ward saves me regularly. Just, again, it's crazy this gets downplayed, but take only half the damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. That alone should have everyone going, okay, but what's the catch? And the catch is that there fucking isn't one. Resistance? 2 turns? But Quag, it took your whole action. Okay, end turn. Still have a turn right now. But yeah, I could re-up it this turn. If it's necessary. Still have my bonus action to do offensive stuff with. If I get any sort of improved action economy via something like, let's say, Haste or Bloodlust, well, I can reserve an action for maintaining Blade Ward, but I'm a Sorcerer. I can extended spell Blade Ward. I get 4 turns. Also, if you Blade Ward and then you end your turn before the animation finishes, which you have a fairly generous window for, even more generous if you're on Bladesinger, because the animations suck. As long as you're not last in the turn order, you will have 2 turns on your upcoming turn rather than 1. And you can also do that with extended Blade Ward. So 1 sorcery point and 1 cantrip can give you 5 turns of Blade Ward, effectively. Blade Ward's incredible. Anyone who has ever told you Blade Ward isn't good, just discard everything they've ever said. If they're unwilling to backpedal on that, at least. Okay, stomach, relax. Like this. That's enough initiative. Catch is that you can't make a use in a Blade Ward of Blade Ward in 1 HP run, but you can though. That's not even true. You absolutely can. You can still achieve damage reduction threshold such that enemies that only do physical attacks will opt to not attack you at all. You can still use it to reduce the damage you would have taken in certain dialogues, such as dialogue with the Raj, such as dialogue with Omelum. You could still use it plus damage reduction to prevent fall damage, if for whatever reason Featherfall is unavailable. It's still useful. Blade Ward and the Gauntlet of Shar. That's not a good use for it because you just drink a healing potion there. The use of it would be everything else that I just said, but I'll take it from the top again. You can still modify enemy AI to the point where they choose not to attack you if you have enough physical reduction, which is going to be a combination of your armor's damage reduction damage reduction from your class features, damage reduction from your other gear, and damage resistances. Blade Ward giving you the most impactful damage resistances in the game, the most impactful 3. You can still use it. What we're experiencing here is the same thing that causes people to downplay Blade Ward in other runs, where it's not having considered where it could be used means it couldn't be used. So don't make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Never start from the standpoint of, I can't use this for that. Start from the point of, okay, what does this do and what can I apply that to? Because if you're working backwards from your conclusion, you're not going to go anywhere interesting, because you already know what you want the outcome to be, right? So do it in the other order.
The tadpole, the absolute. How? He has.
We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting.
Clearing exclams here. I don't think Lae'zel has anything to say. Let's rest.
Fatigue creeps through your limbs and presses on your mind. Yet it is a
Propose it more as a
pleasurable
question to
sort
figure
of
out the answer
awareness,
rather than affirming it from the
one
very start.
founded in
Yes.
accomplishment.
It's Booming Blade stack with all the
You
Hexblade
slew
packed
the
with the
daughter
blade
of
features.
Selûne
It's
for the
not a
Dark
stacking
Glory.
question, Machete.
Now
They don't do
you
the
are
same things.
chosen. Your glory bought with the blood of others.
Booming Blade is a cantrip that you can
worth it,
do
was
as
it
an
not?
attack once per action point. And that has nothing to do with Pact the Blade or anything. So, I don't understand the question. Not change the topic. Side question. Can't find where I stashed Orin's Netherstone. Will rubber band to my inventory when I enter the boat to the endgame? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. If it's in a companion's inventory or in your camp storage, possibly. But if it's anywhere that is not, like, part of that, then probably not.
A small sacrifice compared to the infinite glories that await. You are destined to be at Lady Shah's right hand, while others lose her favor, like your mother superior. She marked the wound on your hand. She sent you on a mission that nearly cost you everything.
It's a little out of frame because she's a little bigger.
She will become a footnote once you take her place. Your glory will be unparalleled.
It's weird though, they made the choice to have Booming Blade be an
You
attack
still
replacement
feel
rather
like
than
a
being an action by
novice at
itself,
times.
when it would be just fine
Chosen
by
of
itself.
Shah demands
So
certain
that's something that they did,
gravitas.
because one of the first things that people started doing in the first wave of early access for the Patch Age stress test was they started going around to every other part of the community bragging about their Booming Blade boss melts, because they were using Booming Blade on everything. So then they changed it to be a full action, and then those people started complaining. So then they changed it to be once per action.
The oblivion of sleep awaits. You
Booming Blade's very
hasten
nice, maybe
towards
too nice, but hey, objectively too nice. Like, if anyone's running around not thinking Booming Blade's too strong, I have crypto to sell them. Not you, Crypto Green, but, you know. It's nice melting bosses every once in a while, so I think we have different assessments there. It's not that Booming Blade does more damage than anything else. It's not that Booming Blade allows you to hit new damage peaks, because it doesn't. Melee is still weaker than archery at peak. And you can't Booming Blade on an arrow, luckily. But even then, arrows of slaying are still there. That's not the point. The point is that Booming Blade is not, outside of introducing things like extended spell and on-hit effects and things like that, it's not more mechanically involved. You just Booming Blade instead of doing your basic attack at every level, and you have no reason to ever not do that. It's just replacement for basic mechanic that in most runs you'd just be stupid not to get access to. And that doesn't make you think more. That makes you think less. And that's why I have a problem with it. And it has caused kind of an unfortunate thing. This happened with the Shadowblade changes in patch 8 as well, where people will have a warped assessment of where the value of certain things lies. Like, there's a bunch of people running around saying that Shadowblade's like the most OP thing, and like it's better than every other melee weapon. No, Shadowblade has been in the game the entire time, since before patch 8. Now, before patch 8, it required you to have the ring equipped and keep concentrating, and you couldn't upcast it. But all of its other properties were the same. And with those things in place, Shadowblade still frequently loses to other melee weapons, depending on situation, depending on setup, and still loses to a lot of spells, still loses to most bows. It's new thing shiny, therefore good, therefore better than other things. That's the logical progression. What was less base damage, right? It was always 2d8? No, it was always... It might have been 1d8, but it was always the only psychic damage melee weapon. Someone fact-check me on what the damage there were. I like being precise. The point is, it was the only psychic damage melee weapon, and it was still very, very good, but not unparalleled. Even if you double its damage die, very good, but not unparalleled. Because piercing damage is still very easily scaled, especially in Act 3. And in most runs, people are only getting the Shadowblade plus Resonant Stone combo right before Act 3. So there's a very slight window of time where you have easy access to Psychic Vuln, but not Piercing Vuln. But then as soon as you get that Piercing Vuln, okay, you could be running around doing Rhapsody, Dollar Amaris. Again, back to bows. You could be doing Spear of Evening. Like, no, Crimson Mischief. I'm debating whether I have Volo do as I think. That's why I'm dragging my feet here. I'm thonking. I don't think I do it. But yeah, I encourage creativity. Crimson Mischief is pretty nice. Now, if I could just remember where I put that damn Netherstone. What did you do when you first grabbed it? I mean, were you streaming when you grabbed it? You could go check your VODs.
No. So you came cowering.
Forgive me.
Perhaps get back to your duty.
Duties.
I never let it leave my inventory.
Duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling.
Love that line. But yeah, I never let the Netherstones or the Orphic Hammer leave my inventory for that reason.
Beyond the...
You should put in the fish bucket. So, this is reason number 5,000 why I point out why I don't put things in containers, because, hey, I don't lose items the way everyone who's like, why don't you sort your inventory? I don't know. I can find my shit. Can you find yours?
Might as well.
Like,
What might you be hiding?
and because I have a system, barrel's not part of the system. I
was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the
remember missing out on
absolute.
allying with Gortash because I had Ornn and Ketheric stones on different characters. Ooh.
And I'm glad that I didn't. I can't fathom how, as luck would have it, we'll soon find. You'll have.
For D&D also. Enjoy your session, Danny. Okay, we don't bring Pistone for this. I don't want to be Psychic Clone. Lae'zel, what are you doing? For free? If I could put away this fucking Doomhammer, man. That would certainly help. Okay. And I grabbed Drake Throat. I did. Don't need Lightning Blast for this upcoming section. We'll do Harper's. We'll actually do a little bit of Visty stuff.
The events of the last days.
Being in love with a frog normal behavior? No, but
Sleep's rest is slow
here we
to
are.
come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain control all who is with together. And when will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their
Excuse me.
religious
Apologies.
delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not sleep.
We're under attack. Fight your way
Before,
to the
thank you.
portal. I need your help.
Seems simple enough.
I think 16 is lowest. You can keep primary stat through the game like strength or dex to be successful in honor mode. I mean, you could complete the whole game with no investment in any stat if the game would let you. It's all your strategy. Your strategy changes depending on what your stats look like, so some things might or might not be available to you. Like, for example, if your strength is terrible, you're gonna struggle to handle any situation that involves jumping, throwing people, pushing people. You're gonna have to make up for that with consumables that you have limited access to in certain sections of the game that also come with the opportunity cost of denying you the other slots. Like if you're always stapled to a hill or a Cloud Giant elixir, you can't use other elixirs. If you're stuck using the Hill Giant gloves in Act 3, you're not using other gloves, etc. It depends. Honestly, can't think of the last time I took less than 16 decks. Everything else I like to play with. Would you ever dump decks? Yes, retaliation builds. Builds where you want your AC to be lower. Depends command when. 5 years ago. Not bad, you're good. I've been consistently pedantic about not liking the word best for about half a decade. They have evasion, so I won't be doing Conjure Barrage here.
Help me.
Makeshift Bow or Titan String would be the play, I'm thinking. Gotta go Titan String. Do Cloud Giant. We'll stay on Sentinel Shield to maintain our initiative advantage.
Please, help me.
Unnoticed. Good. I see a way. Have to keep low.
I can't hold them off much longer. It's not over. Come to the skull.
This way.
The decks for low AC until I get alert force use Vigilance Elixir. Lots of times after as well. That's what you're doing on your run, sir. Yeah, for my retaliation runs, I do tend to take 8 decks. And any situation where I find myself needing dexterity or initiative, I will equip the dex gloves. This is a strategy that I absolutely recommend against in normal gameplay. For retaliation, it allows you more stat investment into other things.
Less grabbing.
Because you don't want dex ever. You're not giving up your glove slot to band-aid it in the same way, because there's very little that impacts retaliation damage output in the glove slot for most of the game.
None shall see me. Not demons after all. Just Githyanki.
Like, put the dex gloves on and take them off in the first round? Exactly.
Worth taking.
The skull. Come to the skull.
It's the whole thing with art where you need to know why rules are what they are before breaking them. That's pretty good, Mick. I might have to use that. I didn't bother to do any Drake Throat. I think I can get away with not doing that right now. This is probably more a Defender Flail situation than a Spirit of Evening one. I have extra attack. Thinking we'll actually do, Haste from Darkfire.
Please, help me.
Better take that.
It's not over. Come to the skull. It's not over.
Any general strats with Boulette without Grave Up to Master or Sharpshooter? Water Bottles and Lightning Bolt Scrolls are very good. Titan String Bow with Cloud Giant Elixir and Large Scroll Era Monstrosity Slaying gets it done without needing a Sharpshooter. Tavern Brawler throwing magical bludgeoning weapons with an adamantine mace, or, you know, if you have enough strength, you can get there without an adamantine mace too.
Hurry! I can't hold them back alone.
Shadow Blade with forced crits. Didn't know that platform gift existed. It reminded me to hit a chest that I frequently forget about.
Just check for anything useful.
Blight's an expensive opener, but it works. Yeah, Blight's not bad there. Inflict Wounds and Guiding Bolt. Yeah, we got there at the same time. Sweetest roll. I don't have a flight potion. Can I make one?
The skull.
Okay.
Come to the skull.
Do I have an enlarged scroll, actually? No? Big boy chew toy on me? No? Slacker.
Help me.
So we'll do that. Concentrate on guidance. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Please, help me.
Don't help me. Destroy the god together.
You start me there. Guess I should have disengaged. Means you go first. Two more throws. I have the movement speed. You're in a weird position. Why are you so far forward? fastest I've ever seen that. With haste, extra attack, and preserving your bonus action, you can get that all done with one character on for turn 1. Yeah. You can also do it without haste or preserving the bonus action if you have action surge.
You made an adventurer. That longing brought me for years.
Yeah, the design choices for the Emperor are very cool. Tweedledum, I agree. This part of the story makes sense. The Emperor been fighting these guys all game in those visions. Yes. Why are they suddenly winning now? Because they've been fighting for long enough that the tide has turned. You do get a couple cutscenes with the Emperor saying how tired it is from, like, warding them off for the entire events of the game. Like, multiple times. So, bro got tired and started losing. That's it.
Alone, Orpheus will be much help them, and while all I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find out you carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is, as an Illithid, would you like to do it? Now, it wants to evolve, but it cannot do so. We must.
Okay, but I'm not trying to listen to dialogue, so checkmate. Got me there, Shiniest. Hope you're well. I could give up a ranger spell. I could give up enhanced leap for Hunter's Mark now, if I wanted to. Not terribly worth my concentration at this point in the game, though. X would be better, and I'm going to be able to take Hex next level. No real point.
I'd better take a peek.
Time is different in this plane too. Yeah, time does not, like, pass. It doesn't, like, exist in the astral plane in the conventional sense. So, like, you don't age when you're here. But the ongoing battle is still very much happening. Like, Orpheus has been locked up for 1,000 years. It's just he hasn't aged because he's in the astral prison. Why the hatcheries are on other planes? Right, because they would never hatch or mature. That might also slow down the biological processes that make you tired and you can go longer here. That's possible. That's a part of the lore I don't know, but that would make sense to me. Keta, yeah. Makes more sense. I was always confused because he was locked up like 1 billion years ago and his autograph never did anything about it until now. Voss has been trying to find the prism for at least several hundred years. Because Voss realized pretty immediately that he fucked up in locking up Orpheus in the first place. So then he dedicated himself to the cause of freeing him. So he had to bide his time for a long time. So Voss was at least working towards that. The Honor Guard was likely doing the same. but maybe less covertly.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's.
Why has there been so many Blackists? They don't age most of the time. Died in battle or what?
I
I mean, the current one is a Lich. I don't know if the previous ones were Liches, but the current one is a Lich.
He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. And even more powerful still. Listen close. Long ago, when we rose up, Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen.
A lot of Blackists.
Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned
So
for a
this is the implication that the other ones didn't do that. So maybe they just aged and died normally. Or maybe they did die in combat.
He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle. Or so the Varshes.
I think Lae'zel spits a lot. I hope so.
Yet the prince of the comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living.
She's so flowery with her language, makes her more endearing. I maintain that, in a kind of cool parallel to the nature-nurture thing with the Githyanki egg, Lae'zel would have been a bard if she had grown up outside of Githyanki culture.
To be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way.
She's just fully a poet. She could be a writer of some kind. Like, she's very artsy.
An unhatched Githyanki egg should be the burden of a Vash, not a warrior, whether ascended or otherwise.
She may not speak the same way if she didn't. Well, I mean, it's possible. But she herself explicitly mentions how when she first arrived in Faerun, that she hated the place, she wanted out, but she grew very quickly to just love it and appreciate, the beauty and everything. When given the opportunity to choose her own path, she chooses here. Even later on, if you have her loyal to Vlaakith still, and then even if she kills Orpheus herself after you beat the brain, and you give her the choice of what she does, she chooses to stay in Faerun. She will forsake Vlaakith herself. Even through the brainwashing, she'll be like, I like it here, though. You have to, encourage or have very low approval for her to actually go get her whole soullessy 8. Or be Origin, yeah. Similarly, Astarion, without any player input at all, he will default to not ascending. The companions do have versions of themselves that they will choose to be without your influence. And Astarion defaults to not ascending. Yeah, This makes sense. Hey Sora, thank you for gifting us up to Gay and Stressed. Very kind. Appreciate that immensely. Even if she leaves to go wage war on Blacka, she mentions missing Faerun, and if I recall correctly, she's only doing it for the rebellion. She wants to return when it's over. I didn't know how the fuck to dismiss you here. Once she gets recruited on top of Moonrise, the only thing I knew, kill her, have Bone Daddy res her later. So, you had her join you after you beat Ketheric? Because then she's just staying with you. And I don't... Yeah, then she's just staying with you. I don't know of a way around that at that point. Your off-ramp was not bringing her with you to fight Ketheric. I'll be right back. Gotta go miss girl. Used to be able to dismiss her back to camp. Not sure why she won't go away now. That was never the case when I recruited her up there, Tweedledope. Now, this could have changed at some point, but it would have been several years ago. Alright, I'm back. I ran an ad, people in ad jail for 2 minutes. You're not going to miss anything. I don't feel like doing the Shade Clinger thing. If I get punished for it, I get punished for it. So, we want level 12 to pick up Hexblade for Hexblade's Curse, and then, other than that, it's acquiring gear. Also, Mirror of Loss, we probably hit Dex. We probably hit Dex. There is an argument for Strength, but we'll hit Dex. Hold off on Drake Throat for now. Be a little more choosy about that. Do I have dye for these gloves? Please tell me I do. Okay, I don't. We're still not showing armor. Take the Pistone. We're so close to being able to put the Doomhammer away, chat. Okay, so the to-do list here. We want Spellmite Gloves from Lucretius. We want Hellrider Longbow from Ferg. Could maybe do some fun stuff with Blightbringer. Wrong kind of build, but thinking about it. Sledboard from Exvikyap. Oh yeah, I remember. This is a run where I do specifically want Gaunter Mail. So I think I'll speed along my progression attempt to get that. So what do I need for that? Do I have a greater invis? I do. I think I actually have everything I need for that.
Take this way. Better take that.
Need to pickpocket the key to the command area from Black Gauntlet Hans. Do that during Greater Invis, preferably. And then trigger the Watcher Titan fight with Mage Hand or a Familiar or something. And then I absorb Intellect to kill it. Then I loot it, then I leave without blowing up the factory.
Excuse me. That was last 10 day though.
Start walking right now.
What are you calling this new business?
If I was a Shah and look, hells, what now? The whole blasted ground's shaking. Whatever it is doesn't bode well.
Young lady, Shadowheart, a word if you...
In a minute.
I'm not paid to debate with civilians.
Let's see.
Boudoir refreshes Celestial Hastes? Don't think so. What's in that haystack? I think just an acid arrow.
Unseen as I was taught.
Nothing of note.
No time to dally. I'll give it a try. Might as well help myself.
The creature was born recently. Its mind is still fresh. You can absorb its potential if you consume it.
I'll give it a try. Let's try this way.
Get a little XP for talking to the Gur over here. They'll be mad because Gandrel's dead, but like... It's fine.
I'll see what I can learn.
We would not normally top the Slayer of Keth. What's left of my tribe? May the
Oh, actually, they're not mad because Astari didn't kill Gandrel. I did. They do keep track of that. Their specific dialogue.
The ground's trembling again. Feels stronger.
That makes them less mad. I mean, they don't get aggro or anything, but Ulma would be, like, very upset that Astarion killed Gandrel. So she'll still be willing to let it slide because she's very pragmatic. But she will, Bring it up.
The boss is
You think I will only if you're quick.
How many remove curse do I have? None. Awkward. I wasn't planning on buying any, but guess we're doing that. Could use Fiend Slaying. Come back and buy Martial Exertion later. Actually, no. Let me just sell him the container now.
You'll be getting a mouth only if you're quick.
Getting a mouth only if you're quick? Oh.
Now.
Keep water sparkers. We're gonna have Wolverine give me the bomb.
Good. Resistance fighters. And a fucking gun. I had a plan. I get the bomb in. Quiet, Barkus. The adults are talking. Ha! This.
A rune powder bomb? Oh, what the devil has he become?
What's a sonic movement? Something I may use later. Maybe.
Please.
Barkus is a good guy. We like Barkus.
Unseen. Perfect.
Onward then. Costumes don't drool, Dad.
Hello, hello, and well. Oh, that's a first. Usually I'd allow you in, but in these times, I can take no chances. Move along. No circus for you.
Never noticed the barrels. What I like to call free real estate. Yeah, Wolverine living to Act 3 is very money positive. In large part due to those barrels. Mikolash, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Good to see you. Welcome in, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Quag. I do BG3 challenge runs. Currently, we're doing a spellcasting focused ranger, using these spells in this row: Hail of Thorns, Ensnaring Strike, Lightning Arrow, and Conjure Barrage. And it's really cool. We're about to hit our full power with Act 3 gear, and I'm very excited.
I has... Yes! I has lots of stuffs. Just
How's the ranger? It's good. It's good. We clicked a lot of lightning arrow on Merkel. Doing some conjure barrage with Shadow Blade earlier. It was pretty cool. Twin ensnaring strike goes hard. Twin hail of thorns and twin lightning arrow are very strong. Spellmite gloves. Let's get pickpocketing gear on. First ring, shapeshifter's boon. I have resonant stone, don't need gloves of thievery. Sent away gloves of power. Sent away graceful cloth. So I don't know the bonuses I could for this. Just roll good.
Perfectly hidden. Simply begging to be robbed. A gentle touch.
Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. They believe.
Let's let anyone see. In and out like a ghost.
First try. I used the Hammergrim Mist Amulet there because it is a fog cloud that does not require concentration, unlike every other fog cloud. So it allowed me to keep my guidance active. So Spellmite gloves here apply to attacks made with Booming Blade, attacks made with Ensnaring Strike. Be quite nice for those.